Today we're going to do some stamping, some inking, some embossing, all on the top of gel prints that were less than satisfactory. I'm Christy Hartman. Welcome back to my channel. Let's get started. Let's stamp a few of these coneflower stamps, and we're stamping it directly onto a gel print of mine that I did about, I think, April 1st. And I did this one. I'm gonna emboss all of these with a little bit of this embossing powder. So even though it didn't stamp real well, I'm not overly concerned about that. And I'm using archival ink, which is my go-to. Okay, let's put another one down here. Hoping this one stamps a little bit better. I'm just warming up the stamp basically. Okay, well that one didn't stamp real well either. Well, let's get some embossing powder on it. Okay, well this one turned out really well. This one, I can fix this. I can just use a little black ink. That's not a problem. Okay, let's take this one and do a few more of these coneflowers. I don't think it's a stamps pad. I think it's my ink pad. I think my ink pad died. I know. It's not supposed to do that, but this one did. Yeah, those are looking good. All right, let's do the other one. And we're going to spray these, I think. So I got lots of paper showing on this, so I think sprays will work really well. Some of these didn't stamp up real well. I don't want to re-stamp them because that just never works very well for me. So I'm just going to use my black Posca pen and go over them. And it'll be waterproof, and I'll still be able to do what I want to do with them, so it'll work. I want to add some more stamping to these, but first I'm going to do a little bit of spraying on them. I don't usually use sprays, but Darcy Sanders of Darcy's Mixed Media, she did some stamping with this and it just worked out so well. It was so beautiful. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'll be right back. I'll get my sprays and I'll be back. Now, as I understand it, and I don't use sprays a whole lot, so this is kind of an experiment. So I think we'll start with this smoky sapphire. And these have not been used in a while. I have to give it a good shake. Do I spray with water first or just sprays? We're going to go with just the spray. Okay, now let's put some water on it. See if we can get it to move just a little bit more. I watched Mariah of PM Artist Studio do this many times, so we'll see if I can be successful at this or if this is an absolute utter disaster. Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. Could use a little bit more though. So let's add some more here. Let's use our sponge to kind of move that pigment around. Okay, now that is looking okay. And I still wanted to be able to see the pattern underneath. Let's add a little bit more. I don't know, can you saturate your paper too much with it? Probably. That would be my guess. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know who's more experienced at this than I am. You know, it's good to play. I've had kind of a busy few weeks, so it's kind of nice to get back in the studio and be able to do some things. I am actually really liking that. Okay, now this bottom part, let's try spraying with water first to encourage that spray to move. And then I think we're going to mix in some other sprays just for the heck of it, because you know what, we're playing. It doesn't have to be perfect. What's this one? Dragonfly Denim, or this one which is Crow's Nest Copper. Let's try this. What's this one? Sparkling Sunset. Let's try the Sparkling Sunset instead. Let's move this down so you can actually see. I'm happy to be able to see still see the pattern behind. That's kind of what I'm going for. And these are Lindy sprays, by the way. And like I said, I don't use these very often, so I had to shake the tar out of them. Okay, now we're getting some nice shimmer on there. And let's try just a little bit of this Crow's Nest Copper, which needs to be shaken. Shaken, not stirred, right? Although I might have to stir them if they don't start to... Okay, I'm not seeing that's doing much. A little bit maybe. Okay. I don't want all of that puddling. What does it do if it puddles? Does anyone know? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. Those of you that are experienced sprayers, tell me. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm good with that. But in the very center of these, thought we might put this Poinsettia Red Gold. Or should I put this green? It's Bells of Ireland green. I don't know. I don't know that I want that. And I don't think I want that. Let's try this. Let's just try it. We're playing, right? Doesn't matter if it turns out well. It's going to be more than I wanted, but again, you know what? We're playing. Oh, and I really like that. That looks lovely. Kind of went further. I lost it there. Okay, let's leave that right in the center. Let's move this out just a little bit. I don't like it quite so. I kind of like that. But do we want to add something else here and there? Maybe I've got a blue Dragonfly Denim, or I have this green. Let me just, that's kind of a greeny green. I don't know that I want that. Let's just try it on the side over here. I think I've seen Mariah do this, where then she picks some of it up and just adds it in here and there. Okay, that's working. It's kind of I'm using it, I'm diluting it down because it's, I want a little stronger here. I kind of like that. Okay, let's move some of this around. The red and the green are not going to work, but it doesn't matter because we have neutrals on here, so it isn't going to matter. Okay, that just kind of enhanced all that turquoise, didn't it? What are you thinking? Do you like it? I'm kind of liking it. But, you know, we're playing, so let's try the Dragonfly Denim. I'm thinking I kind of like that. So, I'm going to stop the camera for just a minute and we'll do the second one in just a second. And let's start with this Dylusions, and this is Vibrant Turquoise. And I think this might be kind of nice in the center. But you know what I'm going to do? Besides, I'm going to scoot this up just a hair because I don't think you can see it. Okay, let's get some spray on this. This is not terribly absorbent paper. This is printmaking paper. Oh, that's very bright. Let's move some of that around. Didn't really want it all turquoise, but that's what we've got, so that's what we'll go with. It's kind of pretty. Yeah, it's all just a little bit turquoise, but let's try this smoky sapphire on these outer edges, just to brown it out just a little bit. I want those more neutral, and I may not get them. We'll see. Okay, let's use this sponge we have been using. Look at how pretty that is. I actually really like that. Kind of neutralize that outer edge. I have to put a little bit more on there. And it's got all that spray from our previous application, and it's mixing, and I am loving that. Let's add some more of this smoky sapphire out here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm doing it on the bottom, so I'll do it up here so you can see. Let's darken that up just a hair. Again, we've got all that yummy stuff that we had from the previous application on here. Okay, that's interesting, but what if we tried to brighten this up just a bit? I'm adding this green, whatever this is, Bells of Ireland green. Let's use our turquoise just to kind of move that green around. Okay, that brightened that up quite a bit. Look at that. Maybe I'm getting the hang of this. What do you think? I'll put Darcy's link in to her video. What she was doing was pretty fascinating, and I was pretty impressed. It's very different than what I'm doing, I think, but it'll all work, right? I've got a little bit of this chocolate brown. We'll try a little of this. And Dylusion seems to be very intense. So I don't know that I want to get it, and you can't see that, so let's do it up here so you can see it. This Dylusion seems to be very intense, and that's good, right? For the most part. The paper is so saturated that I don't need any more water, but let's put some more brown here, and then I'm going down below where I'm out of the screen, but you get the idea. Let's try the fuchsia. Let's just put it right here in the center. It's going to be not quite as red as the last one from the looks of it, which I may or may not like. We'll see. I'm just going to turn this sponge over and kind of just dab it around. Dab it around. That's not very intense, but it's okay. It should go purple. It's kind of not. It's just kind of going brown. Let's get rid of it, some of it out here. I don't want quite so much around the outside. Or poinsettia red gold, sorry. Let's add a little of this. What do you think? I think we need a little bit more brown over in here. And I have enough on this sponge, I'm just using it. How about we let this dry and then we see where we've got? I have to say, I think these turned out really well. I really am happy with these. Since I don't spray very often. Look at how shimmery that is. Can you see that? They're just kind of beautiful. And here's the second one that we did the turquoise on in the center, and I love them. We're going to do a little bit more stamping on these. I'm going to use a combination of Sophia Button's Sketchy Scallops, and we're going to use these Darcy's Flower Centers again. We're just going to add some basic stamping to these. And I'm using this Catherine Pooler, which was a brand of stamp pad that Mariah and Patricia from PM Artist Studio have been using. And this is the Juniper Mist. I'm going to try it. I think we'll put this Sketchy Scallop on some of these edges. And let's do this cute little center in the center of these. Yeah, I'm liking that. What do you think? Actually, I really like that. All right, let's let that dry. First thing we're going to do is add a layer of iridescent bright gold fine to the tops of these two prints. And I'm using open as I really want a little longer work time for this. Let's place our Coneflowers stencil over the top of all this. And we're just going to lay this print right down over the top of it. And use our Baron to get as much of that paint up off the plate as we possibly can. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yep, that looks great. Can you see the shimmer? It's very light, but I think it's going to do exactly what I'd hoped. Okay, let's pull this up. Very nice. Okay, again, super subtle, but you can see it there. That is going to make those really pop. These are the completed pages. I don't know what I'm going to do with these for sure. You might see them come back as some tags, or, you know, I might use them as a masterboard. I don't know. I have no idea. I just wanted to have a little playtime today and play with the stamps and play with some inks and just see how this progressed. And I think they turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with them. I think I'll use the inks again. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I always love to hear from you, and I'll see you in my next video.